Welcome, ladies. It's such a joy to feel you and to sit in circle or square in this case. Yeah, I think most of you last met on the womb journey. So it mm, yeah, it feels special to feel you again and to meet this space of the shamanic womb journey and really come to life again. And once more, I'll just honor the land we're on, different continents and different islands and places and cultures. So I'm coming in from Portugal today. It's my homeland.
I'm here on Maui, my chosen home land.
I am in Panama, just visiting this month. Been working here and meeting my daughter.
And I'm in Switzerland, in Geneva, where I was born and returned.
Yeah, wondering the beautiful mix and pot, and like you all are from different cultures and backgrounds. And I'm wondering like what shamanism means to you and how it's come into your life and woven in over the years. How's it been your journey with shamanism?
Yeah, for me, the shamanic realms, it's about connection to nature and connection to the unseen realms, you know? And so for me, a big portal in has been through my body, through my movement, through my sound, and then also through just connecting in with the land. I feel like the land has so much to share just by going out and sitting with a tree or allowing kind of the subtle current of nature to guide you, you know? That's been my portal into the shamanic realms.
For me, I come from Colombia, and my grandfather actually was had indigenous blood, and his father was a curandero himself, which is a different landscape of shamanism. And it is a way of life. It is a way of life where it's a deep connection with matter, with the land, with the unseen that's here. Like he used to weave fisher nets and tell us that life was like that web, and that we were all connected, the seen and the unseen. And so there is something about shamanism that really, for me, is that knowing of that tapestry of interconnection, and the ongoing within that we do, unknown or known. Like I feel we are all part of that big prayer. So shamanism is a way of prayer in a way, and yeah, and I feel that has dropped even deeper with the shamanic book journey in a different way. Like I feel that this was a shamanism that came from a structure, and here what I came to recognize was the vibratory field, and more intuitive and more like a dance, which was not as straight or clear, but much more an upwelling of multiverses, and that we weave through the womb, the love, the consciousness. I don't know, but it has a different flavor somehow in this context. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, shamanism is first of all a recognition of the existence of different realms, of parallel worlds existing simultaneously and as equal and important It's first of all the recognition of it, and second of all, for me, it's the bridge between them and the capacity to travel from different realities to another and to recreate a constellation of existence and of totality in one consciousness, you know.
Mm. And you mentioned, Shakti, a bit of the, you've all mentioned in some way or another overlap with the womb and shamanism and being a shamanic womb journey. Just inviting in a little bit more of what are the womb mysteries, not which are the womb mysteries, but what are womb mysteries, and what does working with this womb mean?
The first thing that comes to me when I think about the shamanic womb journey, and especially what marked me the most, you know, in that like in that work, if we want to call it work, but it's more like just a recognition of what we are. What touched me the most is the capacity to transmute. So it's like almost like a descent into so much density and that it feels almost actually uncomfortable, you know, like it's like the capacity to feel to a level of uncomfort because it makes you almost feeling crazy because you're able to feel everything and its opposite at once. So to me, like the descent work in the womb is like the capacity to start hold so much polarity in its density that you are going through a portal of craziness, basically, that eventually bring you, burst you to what I've ever experienced as freedom. You know, it's the capacity to hold everything at once. And for me, that's the only way to really embody compassion, you know, and like when we speak about feminine work in general, because we're about to embark in a journey with women. So feminine work, I always what I've always been averse to feminine work, it was like actually the quality of how do you say in English, hypocrite, like hypocrite quality, which is like, yeah, let's be compassionate and love everything. But I feel like it was always very much conditioned, you know, like conditioned to what we would do, feel, or act. And I feel like the descent into the womb and the capacity to transmit of the womb is the capacity to also welcome every part, the most disgusting part of humanity, and to alchemize them into what it actually is, just pure life force. So for me, the womb journey is the capacity to engulf, like devour everything and to transmuting it into space and gold and love and pure compassion. Yeah.
Oh, I love what you just said. Yeah, and for me, I feel like that part of that capacity to transmute is the willingness to face yourself. You know, the willingness to really go deep and to allow yourself to be messy and wild and to look at all of these tender spaces. You know, womb work is a descent journey, so it's descending into the body and into the earth, but it's also descending into the underworld, into the realm of the subconscious, right? The underworld is just that which is not yet conscious. And so it's all of the things that we're hiding from ourselves, which can be our most ugly, vile, disgusting bits, but it can also be our deepest power. So to me, so much of womb work is about dipping below what we know with the mind to look into the deeper mysteries of what the body holds, what our bones know, what's coded in our cells, you know, and really being willing to go into the unknown, to go into the darkness, to discover what's there waiting for us, the gold, as Laura is putting it. And for me, it's like once you've descended down, 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 there's this sense of spaciousness. So one of the gifts of the womb for me is this there's so much space, there's so much capacity, there's so much nourishment actually for you to rest into, so that when all of this, when you're facing all of the things, it's like, instead of going into overwhelm, you just get to drop into a deeper sense of holding, the deeper sense of holding that the womb gives. And as you continue to descend, for me, once you've pierced through all the emotional layers and all of the pieces, and it's like, once you've gotten to face all the bits, what's left there at the bottom is the ecstatic current, actually. It's life's ecstasy, it's the pleasure, it's the joy, it's vibration, it's life just rising and pouring out of you, you know? And that too for me is the womb journey, it's the life, right? The womb is the portal of creation. It's what life wants to come through you, what life wants to vibrate and move and sound and be and have its expression through your body, through your being, through your soul's expression. Yeah.
This is so beautiful. My womb is already vibrating, like just listening to you and being here. Yeah, for me, actually, the womb journey is it's like if the womb is the cauldron of creation, and I feel that it's really that space, that cauldron where we cook our own medicine, and we cook at by cooking us, by bringing ourselves fully there, and it has the power of alchemizing whatever we put. So I feel that we have as women, with carriers of this precious um, holy grail, the capacity to cook and alchemize our medicine and bring there our whatever is happening, all our emotions, all that is unknown, all our prayers, all our desires, and really allow them to be vibrating, to give them sound, give them, like, feel them. There is something about just connecting deeply and recognizing, and I think this is the shamanic actually, that our womb is a fractal connected to the earth womb and to the galactic womb. Like, we are a womb within a womb within a womb within a womb. And one of the most powerful things, and that's exciting me about sitting with a group of women together and praying with our wombs, is the capacity actually to amplify that and connect it to cosmos and to earth, and really bring into materialization the prayer, and see what is the medicine that our own cauldron revealed for us. So it's a very unknown journey for me. It's not that we enter with a clear direction and we end out with that. It's really a gestation in the unknown, where we offer ourselves as the cauldron where we're cooking and being cooked. And yeah, yeah, it's a and Laura or Aya were talking about the possibility of expanding our capacity to feel, and I feel there is something about this work that actually really reveals how big is our container for life, how big is our potential for life, and just witness and experience and participate in the current of life moving through us, and that's in itself magnificent. It's ecstatic, as Aya was putting. And yeah, it's excite me, and right now my womb is like, yeah, give me more of that, give me more of that. Yeah.
Wonderful. I was just life bringing in messages, and as you were talking, my cat just brought in a dead mouse into the room and is playing with it as we speak. It's the ecstatic of life and death and all the, and I guess making all of this as part of the journey of life. Seeing the mouse flying up and down. So you've all mentioned a bit, you've all mentioned how this touches you. And if you could go back to the person you were before you started womb journeying, and knowing this womb journey never ends, but like the person you are now, like what has changed? What has it brought into your life in a solid way and not tangible? Or what you recognize it as, the openings that came through?
I feel for me, I've been always looking for a woman that I could feel like as a mentor, or that I could feel like, oh, here is a woman that knows how to or that embodies that prayer within. And so for me, meeting Janine actually was to have that prayer manifested, and to tune in into my womb has allowed me to tune into different frequencies of my being, and expanding more of my vibratory, expanding more of my sound, expanding more of my intuition, and also landing into the earth. Like I feel, I in my whole journey there has been a struggle somehow of my soul wanting to land. I think there's part of me that actually wanted to go back into the stars somehow, or just dissolved, and like not fully dropping here. And I feel this work has been an invitation that offered my soul roots into the earth, and somehow connected that power of the dark feminine, and the messy, and the death, and the decomposition and recomposition, like somehow, like Panama's the jungle as, and I feel here the pulse of life, and feel like, oh yes, I belong to this chaos, I belong to this movement, which before somehow I wanted to resolve myself to take me out of it and sort myself in a way where could move, pass through without being entangled. And there is something about that entangledness of the roots and the descent that I feel much more at ease now, and therefore more open to life in all its cycles. Yeah, it's been a life affirming path for me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and Shakti, thank you for bringing Janine into the space, because I was kind of feeling like a longing, to really honor her also, as the shamanic womb journey is a body of work that's come through her life, really, and as a transmission of her. And I feel similarly in that for me, when I came across Janine and the shamanic womb journey, it was for the first time like, I'm not alone, you know. For so long, I felt like I just was kind of like all alone on this path, wandering about. And then to meet a woman who's walked many, many steps ahead of me, and who feels like, I really feel like she's carved a path for so many of us to follow. And I feel like that's part of what the shamanic womb journey's done also, is to bring all of us together so that we're all kind of walking this path. And yeah, I'm forever grateful for that, to have sisters who I resonate with so deeply, to have a woman who's walked the path before me with so much love and so much grace. It's been such a deep gift in my life, truly. And I feel like a big part of how this womb journey has really shifted me, and how I engage with the world, I feel like in a lot of ways, even those of us who look very feminine in the world have lived our lives from the masculine energies. You know, out there in the world, the masculine is very much celebrated. Masculine as a polarity, not as male or female, but as a polarity that's inside of all of us. It's like the sense of going, doing, achieving, you know, setting goals and getting to it. And it's this kind of like kind of way of being. And I feel like for myself, I'll speak for me, that the part of my feminine that wants to move differently was very much suppressed behind my inner masculine that was going out and achieving, you know. And for me, so much of the womb journey was about allowing my feminine to come to the front and allowing the masculine to step behind to create space to support her blossoming. And to really allow myself to go into the subtle realms, you know, to not be so much about the outward, what's happening out here, but about really like what's happening on the inside, and slowing down enough to be able to feel myself and to really tap into not only my inner knowing, but like Shakti was saying, like through my womb, tapping into the earth womb, the cosmic womb, you know, myself as a fractal of this greater web of wombs, right? And yeah, that capacity to slow down, to listen, feel, vibrate, to allow things to upwell from the depth instead of having an idea and doing the thing. It's like allowing it to really come through the dark, come through the mystery, you know. And I feel like the shamanic womb journey was very much like that. This creation or this rebirthing of it, you know, as I was sitting in a dark meditation, and kind of when I came out of it, out of the blue, it was like, contact Laura, we're supposed to do a shamanic womb journey. And it was just kind of this like hit that came, and it was an upwelling that I feel like came through all of our wombs, you know. At the same time, it was like we were all in the dreaming, and then all of the pieces come together, right? There's a collective dreaming that happens, and a shared creation that can come when we put our wombs together. And that comes from much bigger than just the three of us or the four of us, you know. It's like really coming up through the earth and coming through, for lack of a better term, through the great mystery, you know. It's there's something potent about how this is coming together. Love you all.
Yeah, I feel also honoring Janine for who she is as a person, but also she's the reason why we're all here now. And I mean, I love her as a person, but I love what she's embodying and the mission that she took to embody the totality of existence, which is not a small mission to take. And yeah, I feel like I was drawn to her in a way that I was like, I recognize myself in her. I just recognize a part of me that was like, oh, I'm all of this too, you know? And it's like, but I'm not yet there. There was like something about her capacity to embody like the earth mother, so that just nourished from inside out, and also like this cosmic mother that just embraced the whole and the totality. And so I feel like the shamanic womb journey is a representation of those two qualities at once. But to come back to your question, Diana, because the question was like, what were you before? And yeah, um, it's not very glorious, really. Like it's like I remember when I sat in the first ever shamanic womb journey, I shared openly to the group of 35 women that I found it really boring to be with women. You know, like actually it shocked many of them, but I had to be honest. You know, there was something in me that actually didn't recognize the essence, you know, like was drawn to it, but was also repulsed by it. And the reality is that because of so much lack of initiations and rites, you know, that could allow me to become who I was supposed to be, I was in a survival mode. And one of the survival of the feminine, I think that it's disconnection and competition, you know. So I find it really boring at the time to just be with women and not to have men to fight upon, you know, like, or something like this, you know. So that's why I said I come from a not very glorious path, but I hope so many of us can recognize themselves, otherwise it wouldn't be called to it. And you know, every portal can be different, but that was my first deep shadow confession, that created a big wave at the time. So yeah, I guess also one of the things that, you know, going for many years into this apprenticeship and many different womb journey and journeying with Janine in so many different ways, one thing that has happened, and it's linked to my initial share, is that the capacity to feel more is safer. Like I feel like there's a safety that has landed in the body, that it's okay to feel as much, because I feel like one of the deepest pathology of humanity is that because we're not used, or we don't know how to feel that much, we just shut down and numb, because it's like an overload in the system. You know, so it's like the body can't take it all, you know. It's otherwise going to fry, or you're going to end up in a yard, you know. So it's like what has actually developed a lot in me in that capacity is that I can feel much more. I can feel contrasted nature, and so therefore include all realities at once. And there is also like this kind of like you know, I know that if I put it all in the womb, it's just gonna pass. You know, like it's like I feel like I'm not threatened anymore by being overwhelmed or jarred, or like something that it's too much. It's like if it's too much, I just bring it down. You know, like it's to the woman, it's gonna pass and it's gonna diffuse, and it's offered. You know, so it's not that I'm less crazy. I think I'm still as crazy, but there's a capacity to diffuse and offer to a wider reality. And so therefore this capacity to transmute everything has radically changed my life, you know. And I'm not bored anymore with women. Clearly not. I love women now, but it's like it also showed me how to, or actually show me a certain path, you know. Like it's like, okay, if I don't want to be bored with human, I need to stand for some kind of radical truth and some kind of reconciliation of the fracture, you know, like the fracture that lives into between the womb and the heart, you know, like yeah, like between the serpent and the rose, you know, like there's something that needs to be reconciled. And so yeah, I feel like one of the biggest learning for me was really to look, like as I said, not with so much grace, to like be confronted to the ugly nature of the sisterhood betrayal, and like what was on the way to actually for me to open to the capacity to include all of this, and to face it and accept it and love it, you know. So
Thank you. Can resonate with so many. It was beautiful to get the different transmissions. It sounds complex, like it sounds like quite a journey. So for people, just for clarity, do the people need to have some experience in shamanism and womb work, with having the nista, anything? You don't all need to answer.
I feel like it's a come as you are. You know, there's no need to have done any work prior to this. This feminine work is really to drop you into your body. I feel like you can really come just because you feel a call. And I feel like that's more the quality that that will bring you into the journey. You know, I remember the first time that I saw the flyer for the shamanic womb journey, and some part on me instinctively was like, I need to meet this woman, you know. And then from there, I just kind of like kept following Janine around just because I felt this deep call. And so I feel like it can be like that. It's like if there's something vibrating in you, if there's some part of you that's curious about the shamanic womb journey, follow that. There's no prerequisite. There's no need to come a certain way. Come as you are, and come because you feel that call in your womb.
Yeah, I feel too. I just want to know, because you spoke about it, Adriana, that yeah, we are 3 Easter facilitator. Janine used to be an Easter lead facilitator. She's not anymore. So yes, it's true that the shamanic womb journey is it's a very close sister to Easter, but you don't have to have gone through Easter for that. I feel like the the link between them, it's like that radical dive into an authentic self, you know, and like just shred off of every layers that is like on the way for you to fall through the truth and the love that is there for you, you know. So that's the only thing. So if you don't Easter, welcome. If you don't haven't done Easter, welcome too. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like of course, like we don't expect you to have already an activating woman really hear exactly the calling, but somehow I feel like when things are really important to us and that we feel that something is calling us to deeper transformation, there is like almost like a tingling of trepidation. Like it's almost like, oh, I want to go, but I don't want to go, but like a little, ooh, I'm a bit scared of it because I could, you know, have my life change forever. Yes, you will. So yeah, if you feel the little tickle there that is like pulling you and pushing you, like maybe that's a good way to start and getting into contact. Yeah. And one thing that I wanted to just add is like, because we've been thinking about Janine so many times, so people don't even maybe know, you know, like, so she kind of burst up. It's almost like she translated that work, you know, from it's universal knowledge, like it's a cosmic womb knowledge that she has been translating into a certain structure that holds some codes that make sense, you know, for the human experience somehow to receive that. And so she's been holding that for 10 years, and that she has stopped like 2 years ago. And she kind of gave it to us, the apprentices, and we didn't take it on for 2 years. But I feel like that's another quality of the womb, which is gestation, you know, like, and that's also something that I've learned over those years of shamanic womb journey, was like the capacity to let it rest, gestate, and wait for the good time for delivery, you know, like not a prior delivery date, not too late, just deliver it on time so the baby's ripe. So it's like I feel like it's just coming out now. It's like it's coming out from few of us. And actually, for this specific shamanic womb journey, Janine's gonna be there the first day. So she's gonna kind of like pass the torch and bless the space, and she's gonna hold also the dark point, which is actually the unseen. It's like almost like what lives at the core of the energetics during the whole time. So she's kind of going to be with us in those different realms, as we were speaking at the beginning of what is shamanism. It's like this connection in between realms. And so she's going to be into a very specific layers of those realms, which is the one that connect everything together. So yeah, just want to explain how this is.
And well, I think you two have really said a lot in response to that question. And what I want to say is that what we are holding is a space where your own womb will reveal its codes, will reveal its wisdom. Like this is not an imposed wisdom that we follow or that we can read in a book, or that this is actually the meeting of women in circle, vibrating and allowing our unknowing to be revealed. So we are really here not as, there is not a body of teaching. There is, but there, in that body of teaching, there is a lot of spaciousness and actually a lot of juice and welcoming of each individual codes and revelations. One of the things that the feminine does is reveal when it's ready. And I feel this meeting is holding the space for our own wisdom, our own body wisdom to be revealed. And so just the desire or the longing of that to be explored, I think that's what we are inviting you. And if you feel the call, that's enough, I feel. And something about this particular journey is that's going to be in a very sacred land. I live in Samothraki, which is where this is going to happen. Samothraki is a magnificent land. Well, the veils are very thin. She's a mystery school. It's a temple of the goddess. It's a woman its own. So I feel that just to be there and sit in circle and vibrating that feel, it's so much that actually we don't know. And yeah, so I just wanted to bring the beauty of this land that's holding us, because it's a very exquisite frequency. And she's so ready to talk. Like I live there, and she's like, come on, come and sit, listen to me, let me give this. It's as if the mystery school that has been dormant there is really awakening and wanting to offer her transmission. So we will be receiving transmission from many layers. And one of my desires actually and my calls is every woman that come will offer their own transmission that will add into the medicine that we will be cooking together. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Feeling we're coming into the time, a little over already. Before we complete, does it feel like anything emergent that is to be said?
For me, really is a lot of gratitude. Like I feel the opportunity to be together in prayer in this land with this work. Um, yeah, my womb is longing for that. I feel it's going to be a very potent quadrant, and I am already feeling the gifts that are going to be coming for all of us. So I feel very grateful for the gift that it is to sit in this place together.
Yeah, and I think I want to share, like, Shakti, thank you so much for bringing in Samothraki, because for me that really is, it's such a big part. You know, we started this code, what's shamanism? It's like, it's the land. It's how the land wants to pray and speak through us and how it wants to move us. And my first introduction to Samothraki on my boat ride over, a stranger told me, you know, this is an island that's exploding with water. And it's just everywhere you look, there's waterfalls, waterfalls, waterfalls flowing into these crystalline green, deep green emerald pools and bright blue dragonflies that are flittering about, and they'll come and land on your hands and all over your body. And I mean, it's just such a beautiful space to connect in with the beauty of nature. And I feel like there's a magic in the beauty also. You know, that's another part of the feminine gift, actually, is this capacity to experience the beauty and the magic and just be enchanted by all that's around you. And yeah, I feel like there's not anywhere more perfect to be having our first shamanic womb journey and to be held by the waters there, to be held by the ancient rocks and the trees. Like I'm just like, I can feel the island coming alive in my body even as we speak about it. So I'm delighted to be headed there with all of you ladies, and I'm delighted to be in this work with you there.
Bye. See you there. See Samothraki.